Many times we go to different destinations, we go to different countries. You're always stressed at work and you want to go to that destination in Spain, in Paris, or it could even be here in Uganda. But you've always wondered, whatever happens if I dare make a mistake in this country? If I make a mistake in the United States or Spain or Germany or England? In today's video, I'm here to discuss whatever happens when you commit a crime, either knowingly or unknowingly, and you get arrested in another country. So in today's video, we're going to discuss what to do or what happens when you get arrested in another country. So let's go. Welcome everyone, Simply Legal. And before we handle international law aspects and what happens if you ever get arrested in another country, first of all, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and most of all, let me just thank all of you for showing Simply Legal love, for being there for the channel. Most importantly, I would love you to share all these videos so that everyone may benefit from this legal information. Now, let's continue. If you ever find yourself in Spain or Germany for a holiday, and then you ever find yourself committing a crime and you're arrested, this is the video for you. Looking at international aspects and trying to save whoever may be traveling to another country, and maybe you knock someone mistakenly, or perhaps you spit on the street. Did you know that in certain countries like Singapore, you cannot spit on the road? Or maybe in countries like Saudi Arabia, you cannot just drink alcohol like that. There are other countries where the driving age is 16, others is 18, others is 21. Well, I'm sure you get the point. International law gives us different aspects under which one can be able to be saved if you ever commit a crime in a country that's not yours. For example, if I'm a Ugandan and I go to Tanzania and I drink alcohol, but then I did not know that you're supposed to drink a certain type of alcohol, then what happens? Now, international law has different conventions and treaties. I'm going to explain to you where all these treaties and conventions come in, but first of all, I want to explain to you what actually happens in the first place. If you find yourself getting arrested in another country, what should you do in the first place? Number one, you should be able to comply with the authorities. If the police are arrested, you comply with them and tell them that, you know what, I'm not a national of this country. They're going to then take you through their processes. Maybe they're going to take you to jail, they're going to take you to the police station, the precinct, wherever you call it. And then I would advise you to apply or comply with what they're telling you. Now, according to international law, we have what's called sovereignty of a state. For a state to be sovereign means you're free to do whatever you want. Human nature is basically premised on free will, meaning human nature is free will. We all do whatever we want to do, depending on what we want to do. It was your choice to go to Spain for that holiday in Madrid. However, it wasn't your choice to commit the crime. If the police or the local authorities have gotten you, then comply with them and tell them, you know what, I'm a Ugandan, I just came to Spain on holiday with my wife, or I came alone to do whatever I wanted to do. Now, it's upon you to alert the police, to tell them that, yes, I'm a Ugandan and I did not intend to commit the crime. Once you tell them, then they'll give you the option of alerting your embassy or consulate or high commission. Now, I may not need to explain to you what an embassy is or high commission is or a consulate. All of these are representatives of the country. So, for example, in Uganda, we have the American Embassy, we have the British High Commission. So, if you are a Ugandan and you committed a crime in Spain, or if you are Spaniard or an American and you've committed a crime in Uganda, you can tell the police that you would love to alert your home embassy or the embassy which represents your country to be able to tell them what has happened to you, and then there they can alert home base, which is your home country. Now, this is where the interesting thing comes in. A sovereign state or sovereignty international works like this. Under international law, the United States cannot force Uganda to send you back to the US. Likewise, Uganda cannot force the United States to send you back to Uganda to be tried in your own country. There are two options a country has. If you, a Spaniard, you came to Uganda and you committed a crime unknowingly, of course you do not intend on committing crimes. You've alerted the embassy, you complied with the police, you did not give them any trouble at all in arresting you. Your home country can now apply for what is called extradition. Now, to be extradited, extradition, whatever it is, extradition, let me explain to you, is the process by which a country gives to another country a suspected criminal or someone who is suspected of committing a crime in another country. So extradition is the process by which, let me give a very clear example. If I committed a crime in Spain and I alerted the Ugandan embassy in Spain or the Ugandan consulate, the Ugandan government is going to ask Spain through an application called extradition. They're going to ask Spain to bring me back to Uganda to be able to answer for the crimes that I did while I was in Spain. If I mistakenly knocked someone and Spain is blaming me for manslaughter, then the Ugandan government is going to apply to Spain that, you know what, Terry Kahuma is our national in Uganda. He committed this crime, he did not intend to commit it. Please bring him back to Uganda where we can try him for the crimes that he committed. Now, here's the interesting thing. Extradition is not a must. Spain will not have a must to. It's not a must for Spain to be able to bring me back to Uganda. They can also choose to put me through the entire trial process in Spain or in the United States. Likewise, Uganda can also choose not to extradite a suspected criminal back to their country. Now, I've given you two options. In or under international law, you can either, the country where you've committed the crime can either hold you there and take you through the entire process and even imprison you because the sentence is actually valid in that country. Or they can comply with the other country, your home country, and then they can be able to extradite you back there where they will make sure that you answer for the crimes that you did. Now, there are two types of extradition. There are two countries which are involved in an extradition process. That is the territorial country, and that's also the requesting country. So the territorial country is the country where this person committed the crime and where this person has probably run, because if I went to Spain for a holiday and I committed a crime there, and then I ran off to Portugal immediately, still, even if I committed the crime in Spain, Spain has a right to ask Portugal to extradite you back to Spain. Likewise, Uganda has a right to also ask Portugal to extradite you back to Uganda, where the suspect is going to go through the entire process. I know arresting is a very, very gruesome thing, and it's a very embarrassing process for any man or woman to follow. Many people have been arrested. Recently, I saw a black American who was arrested in an Arabian country, but because she screamed at the top of her voice. In America, we know that there are all sorts of civil rights and human rights, have a right to free speech, but in Arabic countries, in most cases, you find that women are not even allowed to air out their views. So she was arrested there, and she had to ask the American embassy to try and extradite her. So I've explained what the territorial country is and the requesting country. The requesting country is your host country, where you've alerted them that, look, I'm a Ugandan, I've been arrested, please my country, try and help me out in this situation. So there are two types of countries which are involved in any extradition. But before we even talk about those countries, we need to understand what laws govern these two countries. We have what are called international law, and we also have extradition treaties. Under international law, we have treaties, we have case law, we have acts. Importantly, international law is governed, remember, it's governed between two countries or two states or many states. We have conventions, we have the United Nations conventions. Most of them, I'm sure you've heard of United Nations conventions on human rights. Now, in this case, we're going to talk about extradition process. What is an extradition treaty? An extradition treaty is an agreement between two countries. These two countries have agreed that, you know what, if ever we have citizens in each of our countries who commit crimes in the other country, then please, if I ever apply to you to bring back our national into the country, please, I would request that you give us back our national and then we try them in our own country. That brings me to my next point. These two countries must be lying in the category of either territorial country or the requesting state, which is the territorial state and the requesting state. The territorial state is the state or country where this person has committed the crime. I still give an example of me going to Spain or the United States, whether I'm in Chicago or Colorado, and I commit a crime there. Then I'm in the territorial state. Now the requesting state is my home country, which is Uganda. So Uganda is going to be able to ask or request this other country that, you know what, I want you to bring back Terry Kahuma. Is our national, he's a Ugandan. He didn't know what he was doing. Yes, he committed a crime, but we're requesting that you come and try him back in Uganda. Take him through the process, deport him back. I will do a video deport him back, and then we can try him in this country here. So we have those two countries which are allowed to extradite. And in most cases, the basis should be that the two countries, either United Arab Emirates or Sweden, at least should have a strong basis of an extradition treaty between Uganda, another country, or Sweden and England. So we've seen so many celebrities who have committed crimes in other countries. Recently we saw Andrew Tate, who committed a crime, I think was it in Belgium or one of those European countries. We also had Drake, who committed a crime in another country, and his home country, the US, had to request that country for an extradition process to bring him back, and he's tried there. Might I just say it again? A country where you've committed a crime in it's not indebted to taking you back to the other country. However, international law is premised and based on goodwill, so it may ruin relationships with the other country. So that's why extradition process is given a lot of priority. So what are the crimes under which extradition process can actually happen under? Not every crime is extraditable, meaning I may just maybe commit a small traffic offense. So now that may also not necessarily need your home country to undergo the process and expenses of extraditing you. So it needs to be capital offenses. I've explained on this channel many times what capital offenses are. Capital offenses are very, very big crimes. Crimes like murder, crimes like manslaughter, crimes like homicides. So these are crimes under which the state actually has to take this serious, because if I went to Spain and I killed 5 nationals, 5 Spaniards in Spain, then the country actually has to take that serious. And in most cases, they may not even accept to extradite you. They may actually tell you that, you know what, Uganda, we are going to try this person here. He killed our people, and the people, families here must have justice. So what is the process under which you can apply for extradition? I already told you, you need to, number 1, comply with the police, get arrested, go to the police station, tell them that you're not a national of that country, then ask them to apply to the embassy of your home country in that country. It could be the Ugandan embassy, the Ugandan consulate, the Ugandan High Commission, wherever it is. Then you need to ask them for the process of extradition. That is also an entire process in itself. You need to get also a lawyer in that country. Either get a lawyer in Spain or Germany, wherever you are, wherever you have committed the crime under. Then you need to just wait until that home country speaks to your country. Meaning, if you commit the crime in Germany, you need to wait until the Ugandan government and the German government can be able to explain or agree on whether they want you to go that side. If not, the German government still has a right to detain you in Germany, take you through the process of law there, and they may actually sentence you there according to the laws of Germany. So meaning that their laws will apply there. Last but not least, what if it were in Uganda, you foreigners, people who are not nationals in Uganda, and you committed a crime here? What will happen if you're arrested here? The Ugandan government either has a right to extradite you back to your country, or it also has a right to retain you in their country, and you'll be able to answer to the laws here in Uganda. If you ever commit a crime here, we have the Penal Code Act. You'll be subject to that. You'll be subject to the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and all other laws that you could have broken in Uganda. Finally, it is such a pity if anyone ever gets arrested in another country. If you're foreign and you get arrested here in Uganda, it's a pity. But let's hope international law can be able to take precedent, and the extradition process can be able to go forward and to be able to save you. In Uganda, we actually have the Extradition Act, so that is something that could actually save you. But if not, and Uganda decides to detain you, or if you're Ugandan and Germany decides to detain you if you committed a crime there, that's bad luck for you. But I wanted to give you an insight on what would happen and what you should do in case you ever caught in another country. So thank you everyone for listening to me. I remain yours truly, Terry Kahuma. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, share this video with all of your comrades, all of your colleagues who would want to know about legal information. Remember that ignorance of the law is no defense, and you cannot state that you did not know the laws in that country. One final tip is that please, if you're ever going to another country for a vacation or for work, please be able to take some time off, even if it's 10 minutes, research about the laws of that country. Don't go there and commit crimes. Don't go there spitting on the street, because you could be in Singapore and you didn't know that that was a crime there. Until next time, I remain yours truly, Terry Kahuma. I'll see you. Bye.